All right. I hate to say it, but in order for the woke to actually go broke, we're going to have to stop buying their crap. And that applies even if their crap is cool, even if it's something you want. We're going to have to seriously think about not spending money on it. Even if it's a creator that you'd like to support, you know, it's going to have to be something that you seriously think about doing. It's just being like, I'll stop until you know, act sensibly again. Okay, so here we have this article. With an apology, Legendary Games delists their entire Far East RPG product line. Whole thing gone. So, if you wanted that, well, tough shit. Legendary Games announced a new Pathfinder 2nd Edition product this week called Asian Spell Compendium. Jason Nelson quickly apologized, asked retailers to delist the book so it is no longer available, and done so for the entire Far East product line. The forthcoming Asian Monsters Kickstarter, that's where I heard about this, was Kickstarter, has been delayed, and more information will be made available later. How Asian culture inspired RPGs and supplements is a matter of ongoing concern in the gaming community. Is it really? That sounds so stupid. As Legendary Games explains in their apology, I mean nobody fucking thinks that about, like Norse culture. How Norse culture is inspired. No, nobody cares. They just, anyway. As Legendary Games explains in their apology, the timing here was especially awkward. Not really. I mean, I don't know. It's I mean, what they're referencing obviously is the sex addict in wherever the hell it was, who decided to kill. I can't remember how many people. He killed like 8 people, and they were massage parlor workers. And yes, like half a dozen of them or whatever were Asian, and the others were like a couple of Hispanic women, or maybe one Hispanic woman and one white woman, or something like that. It was not racially motivated. And there's, and TYT did a fucking hit piece on the sheriff that was doing the press conference to explain about the guy. It was just, I mean, it's just all ridiculous. Uh, and it's really interesting times we live in where things were very much they were anti-Asian as well as anti-white, mostly anti-white, but there was definitely some anti-Asian sentiment going around. And now somebody, I don't know who, but somebody, frankly, behind the scenes, is clearly decided that the narrative needs to shift. We now need to have, all this wokeness shift to be pro-Asian, because and talk about Asians being attacked, even though most of the anti-Asian things that have been in the news, except for that one guy that was shooting up the massage parlors. Um, except for him, mostly the anti-Asian crime has been committed by black people. I mean, that's just a fact. It's nothing against anybody as far as I'm concerned. But it's just how it's going, man. It's just the reality. Anyway, quote, xenophobia and anti-Asian racism is nothing new. My former father-in-law and his entire family were rounded up and sent to the concentration camp at Tule Lake, California, surrounded by barbed wire and machine gun nests for the simple crime of being Japanese American, and even after their release could not return to their former home for years, even in the 1970s. He had his phone wiretapped by the FBI for potential anti-American activity. Anti-Asian racism, violence, and discrimination are pervasive in the USA, not nearly as much as some places. For the federal government, well, no. I was going to say, one could argue that the most anti-Asian sentiment comes from other Asians, but it's not anti-Asian; it's anti-specific whatever. The Koreans absolutely hate the Japanese. For the federal government to on down to individuals from the 1800s right down to today. Okay, for let's just point out one thing on this. Mike S. Miller. I was watching one of his streams, and he's Japanese or part Japanese or whatever, and he pointed out that he had a conversation with another Japanese guy and about the concentration camps in World War II, and it's like just between us Japanese to Japanese, that was the right decision, right? America made the right choice, and the other guy was like, oh yeah. So I mean, come on, it there are I don't know, people sometimes act like there should be criticism because no matter what was going on, oh well, that's just wrong. Well, you can say that something is unfair, but you know life isn't fair. you know Sometimes there is no right thing to do. There are different kinds of bad, and you gotta pick one way to go. And you can say that, oh, they picked wrong. Well, that's your opinion. Doesn't mean you're right, though. The Asian Spell Compendium was, as the name suggests, a collection of 100 plus spells for Pathfinder inspired by the mysteries of the Orient. And everybody gets upset about the Orient. Orient just means of the East or whatever, just like Occident means of the West. I mean, I don't remember the exact definition, but that's essentially what they mean. It's like Europe would be like the Occident, East Asia. That's the Orient. I mean, just is. These are just words, people. Get the fuck over it. Legendary Games buyers were quick to raise concerns. And that's perhaps the biggest thing that really sucks about this, quite frankly, is the fact that yes, on Kickstarter they mentioned that they were delaying the Asian monsters, which they had said there was going to be like kaiju shit in it, and I like that, so I was looking forward to that. Um, and now it's going to be delayed, and who knows whether it'll. I mean, they say it's going to come out, but who knows when? Maybe they decided, oh, the title's problematic, calling it Asian Monsters. People might think we're calling Asian people monsters. And it's like, would they really? Like, would anybody really think that? Come on. Come on, man. Good God. Just everybody's lost their damn minds. Mike Ferdinando. Black Lives Matter. Oh boy. As a longtime fan of Legendary Games, owner of many of your products from the description on your website, this book seems to be racially offensive and culturally insensitive. Really? Does it? I don't think so. I mean, again, I'm not Asian, but then, you know, I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of woke ass Asians in America, but over in Asia, most Asians that not very into the whole wokeness thing. I mean, the Chinese have a term for white leftists. What is it, Baijuo or something? The white left or something. And it's just, they make fun of dipshit left wing white people in America, and rightfully so. So concerned about all this bullshit. It's why China's going to win, folks. Why they're going to win? Because they don't give a shit. Did you hire paid professional sensitivity readers? Okay, that's not a job that should exist, by the way. It's just not. I'm sorry to all the people who make a living at that, but your job shouldn't fucking exist. And they said that. They talked about how they do employ those people. It's like, good God. Oh, my God. Anyway, for this book, if you don't, you should pull the product. That's just stupid. And you shouldn't ever... Just a general message, not just to Legendary Games, but to all businesses everywhere. Don't listen to idiots like this on Twitter. When people like this talk about, oh, your product is racially insensitive, blah, 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 don't listen to them. Just ignore them. Just, either don't respond at all or else respond with some, boilerplate, we're sorry you feel that way, blah, 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 and do nothing. I mean, corporate America, come on. It's like you used to be so good at doing nothing when people complain. And you still are when the complainers are people like the Fandom Menace or whatever. It's like when they complain, you don't give a shit. You're like, shut the fuck up, bigot. You don't want to hear it. Jason Nelson, who worked on the book himself, was equally quick to react with the apology and delisting request coming within the day. Thanks for the great and needed feedback on our recent book announcement and its terrible timing and inherently tone-deaf cultural issues. Oh, God. We apologize profusely, Yeah, show him your belly, Jesus. And if you want to read more about what we're doing going forward, hit the link below. MakeYourGameLegendary.com/apologies. They have a whole section of their website dedicated to prostrating themselves before the woke horde. Good God. No respect for these people. Echo is angry. Holy shit! This was an actually good apology. I'm wary. I'm wary. But if all that was said is true and there's real action behind it, then hot damn. Yeah. In all honesty, like, I don't count on it, dude. Legendary Games do not count on this being enough. You have started to apologize. You've shown that you're weak. They're going to keep coming after you. The next time you make a mistake, you'll have to make another apology, perhaps a bigger one. That, it'll never end. It'll never fucking end. Anyway, this is what how I learned about it. The Sea Monsters thing. I backed that on Kickstarter. The second thing is announced that we're going to be delaying the launch of our Asian Monsters Quickstarter. Given the recent tragic spate of murders in the Asian American community, bringing into stark relief the endemic racism and xenophobia that Asians, especially immigrants, face, this feels like not the right time to launch a project playing around with those varied cultures in the context of a game. Why not? I mean, I don't know of any. It wouldn't surprise me if there was like a Muslim terrorist attack and they decided to discontinue, some Arabian RPG supplement or something. I didn't hear about that if it happened, but it wouldn't surprise me if that happened. But it's like if there's a shooting in in Norway, it's like, do they discontinue everything that's related to Norse mythology? Of course not. They just, nobody cares. Nobody fucking cares. They don't see the connection, and that's because there isn't one. But there isn't a connection here. But here they think there is. Like, oh, we can't have anything that has anything to do with Asian culture, apparently, because what is that? I mean, tell me how much more sense this makes than just being like, oh, because there were shootings that or something that involved Asians, temporarily at least, I should stop eating Chinese food. Like, just as a sign of respect, I should stop culturally appropriating their food by eating at a Chinese place. You know who wouldn't appreciate that very much? The Chinese family that runs the local Chinese place. They wouldn't appreciate me not coming to their business for bullshit reasons. Oh my God. Anyway, this is especially true in businesses like RPGs, where white voices dominate. Well, white people like to sit around on their ass and play games. What can you say? There's always a deep risk of cultural appropriation. To appropriate is to appreciate. I mean, white people invented dreadlocks. It's true. Look it up. Or insensitivity. As game companies, we can do better. As game companies, you shouldn't get involved in this shit. As companies, you shouldn't get involved in this shit. You should just pay no attention, be neutral, go on about your business. On Asian Monsters, we have tried to do our homework, and we have a number of paid cultural reviewers evaluating at the flavor text and mechanics of the creatures we have collected in this book. Oh, God. There is a lot of cultural crossover in many versions of the source material, but we want to do our best to present it respectfully. I promise, by the way, in the future, I hope to write stories and various other things that I'll try to sell. I promise, I absolutely promise, I will never hire someone to review it for sensitivity and crap like that. That's a promise that I make to anyone, to any potential future customers of mine. Your money will not go to support woke asswipes who have jobs that shouldn't even exist. Anyway, uh, where was I? I lost my place. Uh, present it respectfully. That's something we didn't necessarily do 5 to 8 years ago when we first produced a bunch of Asian-inspired products and recently did an updated version. I really kind of wish that I had those original versions. I guess yeah, and I don't know. I mean, they're probably new enough. They don't have like a whole bunch of old stuff in circulation from from way back. But maybe that's the thing to do is to just go to your local used bookstore and buy old RPG shit and just adapt it to whatever you're doing now. Because at least the old stuff probably was not woke, or at least not as woke. Anyway, looking back with the aid of others, we can see that it was problematic content there. I doubt it. As a result, we've delisted the entire product line indefinitely until we have a chance to revisit it. That's stupid. That's just dumb. Bad business decision. This is why woke businesses are destined to fail. Sooner or later, woke businesses will fail. Asian Monsters is still in our plans. See, they claim that it's still coming out, but I'm not going to support it now. I've supported two of their Kickstarters. I didn't know they were doing Kickstarters until recently, but I supported two of them. Not supporting them anymore, I don't think, for the foreseeable future. I'm gonna have to say no because they bent the knee, and you can't support people who support that kind of bullshit. We can't do that. If we ever want it to change, we've got to stop supporting people who do this. So, no support for the woke tards on the left, no support for companies that bend the knee to them. We hope a better example how this kind of product, how to do this kind of product right. There's no need to rush it, and far better to give it time and attention. These will be reorganizing our quick starter release schedule, and we'll keep you apprised of what's coming up next. And the thing that's really sickening is what comes after. You'll see it says 51 people like this update. Now this is just a screenshot or whatever, but I looked at some of the comments, skimmed them, and all of the comments that were left on Kickstarter are all people saying either being very positive about their apology, like, oh yes, you kissed ass, good for you, not sarcastically like I just said it, but like for real. They think it's great. And the rest of them were, no, it's okay, take your time, this is the right move, a little bit less enthusiastic, but still very much in support of their nonsensical actions. Anyway, that I guess is pretty much all there is to say about that. Unless we wanted to go look at this. Unbreakable author wants D&D to pull Oriental Adventures from shops. Oh God. Go away. They're gonna be like what was there? Wasn't there one like there's at least one episode of no, there's several episodes of Charmed, I think. The real Charmed, not the bullshit remake that they've done. But the original Charmed series, there's several, Oriental mythology or whatever related stories. What do you want to bet that they're going to start being like, oh, these episodes need to be removed? They need to be removed from whatever streaming service they happen to be on. They need to be removed from future editions of the DVDs or some shit. It's just it. Once you get started down this road, it never fucking ends, which is why you cannot allow this shit to get started in the first place. No one should listen. No one should listen. No one should pay any attention to this crap. They demand something be apologized for, don't apologize. They demand something be removed from sale, don't remove it from sale. There is somebody, I don't know who, Elon Musk maybe, he's got money, should fucking start a competitor to Amazon that will refuse to to accept any woke demands made on it. Because people want to buy shit online. There's as far as I'm aware, there's no alternative. I mean, there's like a Chinese site, isn't there? But that is basically supporting the CCP. I don't want to do that. But then, I don't want to support Amazon and their bullshit, and I don't want to, and eBay's done the same thing. They're fucking removing Dr. Seuss and all that. It's like, it just never ends. It's the, all the corporations that are on board with the cancel culture crap, they need to be put down. We're gonna do that later. That crap. Oh god, that's gonna take forever. That's gonna be the longest damn video. Fucking article. That fucking article is supposed to be like a 71-minute read. Oh my god, and I'm not that fast of a reader. Hopefully by now, John Delarose has unblocked me. I don't know why the hell I was blocked anyway. I mean, obviously I'm not logged in, but I don't know why he blocked me on Twitter. It's like, I think I was following him, and then I go to look at his tweets, saw a video of his or whatever, and I go to look at his tweets, and it's like, you're blocked. And I was like, what? Why? I've never done anything to him. I bought one of his books, but never done anything. Oh, he's been blocked by the guy that was that was going after him, and he's having some kind of thing with the quartering right now. I don't know. Okay, so that is that. We are done with this. Bad move, legendary. You have, for the foreseeable future, lost me as a customer, and hopefully you've lost other people as well. Maybe in time you'll get over, or maybe the whole of culture will get over this. I suppose with the probable impending collapse of Western civilization, certainly of America, people will be too busy to be woke in the relatively near future. That could unfortunately be the thing that breaks us out of this. It's gonna kind of like closing the barn door after the horses have eaten your children. Okay, well, on to the next one.